guys? Joe coming in here with another battle replay with Rome 2. We have a 2v2 siege here at a barbarian settlement today. The defending armies here today are Seleucid and Galatia. The attacking armies Egypt and Rome. So let's get into the attacking armies real quick. As we can see, not a lot of their units are here. Rome is being commanded by Solid Man. He has 5 units of his Principes visible up on towers. A few units back here, 2 units of Principes back here, a unit of Legionary Cohort. He has also brought with him 2 units of Socii Equites, and his general is a normal general's bodyguard. Swinging on over here to Egypt. We have Egypt being commanded by Madame 2018. His forces that can be seen are 6 units of thorax swords, 2 units of his Cretan archers, 1 unit of the Nubian bowmen, and his general is a Ptolemaic cavalry. Getting into the defenders, we have Seleucid here. Seleucid is being commanded by Dave the Vassal. He has 5 units of thorax swords, 5 units of hillmen, 4 units of Syrian archers, 2 units of pikes, 2 royal peltasts, and his general is an Agema cavalry. And getting on to Galatia, Galatia is being commanded by myself. I had brought 4 units of Galatian swords, 5 units of Galatian legionnaires, 2 slingers, 2 units of the mercenary Syrian archers, 1 unit of Levy freemen, 2 units of noble horse, 2 units of naked swords, and my general was a ground nobleman, Galatian nobleman. So let's see what's going on. We already have Rome pushing up a couple of his towers. I ended up moving some of my Galatian swords down the road over here. They initially were up by this rock formation over here. I ended up pushing them down just so I'd be able to have some sort of a foothold against his units coming up towards the walls. Egypt is moving up all 4 of his towers currently up towards the walls. Dave has a pretty good, solid line of defense. He's got a bunch of hillmen up front, which is understandable. He's got a unit of thorax swordsmen here, another unit of thorax swordsmen over there. He was, with his units being, a little bit more tougher than mine, my Galatian swords. I mean, they're good, but they're not really going to be able to hold up very well against a lot of Principes that are moving their way up. But Dave was definitely going to have to help me out a little bit. He also, like I said, he's got some of his pikemen up here. Currently, I'm holding the town center with a Galatian legionnaire and my general. I had moved up my 2 naked sword units. They were back over here. And I just want to put this out there. Everybody has become, because I started posting videos and everything, a lot of people have become used to me sallying out. So on this occasion, I did not. I left my cavalry way back over there. And actually, Madame was typing in the chat a bunch. He was waiting. He was asking, when is the sally out coming? When is the sally out coming? And I kept telling him it's not. So, but okay, so we have combat going on here. We have a unit of thorax swordsmen from Egypt taking on a unit of thorax swordsmen here from Seleucid. More thorax swordsmen making their way up onto the walls here for Egypt. Tower is already starting to be neutralized. Rome is taking his sweet time. He's taking it slow. He's got a couple of units of Principes up on the walls now with their towers. So I'm starting to push my Galatian swords down. 3 units of Galatian swords. Do have a unit of my Syrian archers here. 2nd unit of Syrian archers here, watching this gap, or road, I should say. Slingers back here behind the buildings. So let's get into some of the fighting here. We'll just kind of focus on some of the fighting for a little while. Other side. Sorry about that. Let's zip on over to this other side. More fighting going on here. More thorax on thorax competition going on. Another unit of thorax swordsmen, I believe, have made it off of the walls. They have neutralized the gate here. Dave does have some of his hillmen here, just still waiting for combat. He's actually using some of his archers here, getting some good shots in onto these thorax swordsmen up on the wall here. They've taken a huge hit, down 80 men already, 79 men already in that unit. This unit has already lost, they're down to 126, getting some good pila volley here from his royal peltasts into that unit. Let's shoot over onto my side, see how well I'm holding up against Rome. So combat has started down over here. Like I said, my Galatian swords, not really, I mean, their morale is already starting to drop. Solid Man had moved up his Syrian archers up here, so he's getting some good shots in onto my guys. As you can see, my guys are up on the hill more, which is giving him a lot better of vantage point to shoot some of my guys. not really hitting very much of his guys. His guys are still down in this slight ravine here, because you can see it comes over. You come over the wall. There's a hill down, and then there's the hill up. So his men are rather protected here. I remember saying in the battle, it kind of seemed like this unit of Principes kind of pushed through here, but I mean, it might have just been a misclick on his part. I wasn't, nobody was really calling anything out. It's always just for fun. So unless it's like some sort of a tournament or whatever. Shoot back over here to see what each. So now actually, real quick, we're starting to see a lot more of the Egyptian army here. He's got some of his carrying axemen out. A couple more carrying axemen. Brought up a unit of his Nubian bowmen. We can see some Galician rear guard over here in the woods, a unit of Egyptian pikemen, and we can now see all of his ranged capabilities. Rome is still, he's still got his first couple of units here of his Principes moving into the settlement. His archers are doing a pretty good number on my Syrian archers here. I also had a unit of my Syrian archers here trying to get some shots down. I ended up pulling a unit of my Galician legionnaires that were over here around to try and help out my guys over here defending, because Rome is just starting to overpower me. I mean, it's Rome. They're the best, one of the best factions in the game. That's why you see a lot of games say that Rome isn't allowed, because they're very easy to play. They're very easy to win with. So, but yeah, my guys are just getting cut down on this side. His archers, well placed, good placement here for his archers. He's getting some really good shots in. Dave actually started moving units over. He's got a unit of thorax swordsmen over here cutting into this Principe unit. So he was already starting to have to help me with my defense over here. Starting to move a couple more Galician legionnaires, pulling the Galician legionnaire unit that was in the town center out. Started pushing up a unit of my noble horse. My plan was to try and come out of this gate, because I noticed that his archers were kind of close to the wall, but I also did see that he had his cavalry right here. So, I mean, still, it's worth the shot to me, but yeah, you just kind of have to see what ends up happening over there. Dave is doing rather well. He's starting to cut down some of the Egyptian attacking forces here. We have a unit of thorax swordsmen starting to break here. Dave is starting to lose a unit of his hillmen over here, so his defense on this side is at least his defense up by the walls is starting to get a little thin. But he does have another unit of thorax swordsmen here just waiting. So yeah, so I threw my cavalry over in that direction, which caused Solid Man to start throwing his cavalry to chase down my noble horse, which made me use this noble horse, and I kind of I think I honestly just forgot about them. I mean, this battle was probably about 2 weeks ago by this point, so I think I just kind of forgot about them. I was trying to get them to come over here into this Nubian bowman unit, but I didn't see his citizen cavalry come out. So definitely didn't see his second unit of citizen cavalry coming out of the woods as well. So yeah, that was kind of bad micro on my part there. We are starting to do pretty well here, though. I have lost a lot of units already. At least all my Galician swords. I'm pretty sure all my Galician swords are gone. I have this one unit, seriously depleted unit of Galician swords left. But now he's starting to bring up some of his legionary cohort, and here comes his heavy hitters here. He's got some more legionary cohort. He's got a couple of units of eagle cohort as well. As you can see, they are chevroned. At least the two eagle cohort units are chevroned up a little bit. They have 1 bronze each, which is going to make them even tougher. So, yeah, battle's still going on over here. Actually, I'm starting to get... I do eventually notice over here that my cavalry is locked into combat. I'm actually doing pretty well against one of his citizen cavalry units. The other one and my unit are pretty well matched up. Madame moved over another unit of his bowmen over here, started getting some good fire in, but I think at the same time he was shooting his own unit as well. So that was a little, probably a little rough for him to see happening. I don't think he shot for very long. Yeah, now he's changed his fire. He's actually getting some really good volleys in onto this unit of thorax swordsmen. Getting some flanking fire into them. It's just coming right over the wall and getting into these guys on the side. They've already lost 60 men so far. Madame also moved his general over here to try and help his units of cavalry to take down my noble horse. And as you can see, noble horse is really starting to get beat up pretty good here now. Their morale is dropping down to 35 men left in that cavalry unit. So Dave is, like I said, Dave did a fantastic job over here with the initial attack by Madame over here with Egypt. So he did a really good job defending his side of the settlement. My side of the settlement is a completely different story, though. I mean, when all of these units, these 5 units, came out of the mist of nothing back over here, the hidden, I kind of said, I remember I said to Dave in Discord, I was like, I got a big problem coming up right about now. More Principes now making their way up towards the towers. My unit of cavalry actually did not end up breaking. Dave and I threw up some of our ranged up onto the walls to try and get some shots in onto the general. Don't think the general actually ended up taking any losses though. No, general's still solid. That citizen cavalry unit is 64 out of 80, but we were able to break the smaller unit of citizen cavalry, which kind of made us feel a little bit better. You know, the attacking guys had 1 less unit of cavalry, so 1 less cavalry to get inside the settlement, the better. Dave does have a unit of his pikemen over here now, giving his thorax swordsman a little bit of a backup. I'm using a unit of my Syrian archers here, trying to get some good shots in onto this unit of Principes. Now, of course, looking back, thinking back, I probably should have saved a little bit more ammunition, since these guys were basically surrounded by my legionnaires and his pikemen. Probably should have saved some more of my ammunition to get into his secondary line, especially, like I said, his heavy guys, his eagle cohort here. Solid Man has another unit of Principes now coming up onto the walls. Going to be getting a good move in. I don't remember if I think he comes over and starts trying to knock down this unit of Galatian swords. I mean, it's already a very, very depleted unit of Galatian swords, so it's a little bit of overkill, but, you know, get units off the battlefield as fast as possible. My legionnaires are not doing well. They are starting to break. So this, my wall side over here, not going very well. He actually used another unit of his legionnaire cohort, charged them into some of my Galatian legionnaires, which combat is actually going rather well on my side. This unit is finally, I'm actually finally starting to win a little bit of combat here against Rome. Yeah, my unit, the unit of the cavalry that I had initially charged out, I'm finally bringing them back in. There's only 18 of 80 left over there. So let's just watch some of the fighting again. Actually, no fighting going on there. Dave actually doing a pretty good job here with a unit of Royal Peltas, getting some good Pila volleys in onto this unit of Carrion Axemen. They were trying to neutralize the gate again. Thankfully, Dave moved over a unit of his Hillmen over here. This unit of Carrion Axemen are going to break, which was fantastic for his side, because his front line of defense is actually starting to break down as well. He's got 1 unit of Thorax Swordsmen here. His second unit of Thorax Swordsmen are wavering. They are about to break. So this front section here of the settlement now is completely under control here by Rome. He's captured the gate. He's in the middle of capturing this capture point here. I mean, he hasn't captured the gate, I'm sorry. He's captured the walls and the tower, and he's in the middle of capturing this capture point here, which will start giving his guys, it's either extra attack or something. I don't remember exactly what the points give for the attackers or what exactly it takes away from the defenders. But I'm still trying to hold this side over here with this 1 unit of Galatian Legionnaires. Actually, now I noticed that he's starting to cycle some of his troops out. He just pulled out a unit that was tired, or active at least. He's bringing in a fresh unit. This unit is active for my Galatian Legionnaires. I started trying to pull them back, but he got a pretty good Pila volley off onto their backs as they were running away. My second unit of cavalry is still sitting back over here, just waiting for an opportunity, Madame is starting to move around the front part of the settlement here, as he has taken the walls, at least the front corner of the walls over here. So he's going to start moving some units around. I think he should have probably stayed, at least kept 1 unit over here to keep the tower. I mean, he's moving another unit over here to capture this gate, which will be a fantastic thing for him because he still has his cavalry, and that will give Solid Man over here more, more abilities to get guys inside of the settlement instead of just having to rely on his towers. Pretty lengthy standoff over here. I don't remember if a lot of combat really goes on over here for a little bit. There are, just like I said, a bunch of units coming in. Egypt is moving in whatever he still has left, and Solid Man still has a large force. Compared to my flags on this side, he's got a lot more flags over here. So I'm going to say I was a little nervous. I wasn't exactly sure how we were going to be able to, how well we were going to be able to fare against this large amount of Romans. I was able to sneak the depleted unit of cavalry. Sorry, I missed that. I snuck the depleted unit of cavalry around over here to get a quick charge in onto some of his archers. Pretty sure his archers still had ammunition, so it was a good unit to get rid of over there. but he did charge in his unit of Galician Royal Guard in behind my cavalry, so cavalry ends up breaking here too. I mean, there was only one left in there. The final one just fell right there, so solid victory again here, holding the gates for his team over there for Madame 2018, so good job there. Dave is starting to pull some of his units back. He's got a unit of Hillmen falling back behind a unit of Thorax Swordsmen over here, but they are still in range of this tower, so he ends up pulling them both units back even further. He's got a unit of his Thorax Pikemen over here waiting to hold, see if anything comes over in this direction. I start moving my cavalry up a little bit. He pulls his general around. Actually, I think we end up both, yeah, we both kind of, we were deciding on what we were going to do with our two remaining cavalry forces here, thinking of maybe coming around and trying to get some rear charges in onto his guys. We have a unit of the Thorax Swordsmen up over here. My Levy Freemen are trying, I mean, they're in front of the pikemen, so they're trying to take the damage over the pikemen taking damage, but Archer Towers just fire at whatever they want. We were able to break a unit of the Thorax Pikemen here, finally, or thankfully at least. There was one less unit of Pila Volleys that we were going to have to suffer. With this settlement, like I said, this is the town center here. You can see the limited space that you have to hold this choke point before they're able to get into the town center here to start neutralizing it. Madame is moving up a unit of his Galician Royal Guard up over here. I'm pretty sure they still have all of their Pilas. Let's just say in here for a second, see, yeah, big volley into my Levy Freeman. He took out a good number of them on that volley. The Archer Tower's still just firing down on my men here. Let's see what Rome is doing. Yeah, like I said, Rome just kind of sat for a while. Solid Man just kind of hung out. I mean, he didn't really need to push at this moment, so he kind of just sat for a while over there. Dave is moving up a couple of his units of his Syrian archers. They do both still have ammunition. Yes, they both still have ammunition. Galician Royal Guard sitting here. They're getting ready to throw another volley of their Pila in here. Let's see if we can get it. There was a couple of guys thrown. Maybe that was it. Is that the end of their Pila? I guess so. That was the end of their Pila volleys. Madame is now moving over his Cretan archers over here. They both still have a lot of ammunition. Let's check and see. Actually, there's 184 kills for that, 121 for that, so maybe they don't have a lot of ammunition left, but they do have just enough ammunition left to just wreck my unit of Levy Freeman, and they also do start getting shots in onto Dave's pike wall here as well, which was kind of worrying. So Dave ends up pulling his unit of his Thorax pikemen out so they can hopefully stop dying. And he still has a unit of his Royal Peltast here. My Levy Freemen are not long for this world. That unit will be breaking, yeah, right there. Dave is starting to unleash some volleys. He did end up breaking one of the units of bowmen here. Actually, I think he killed every single one. No. There's 3 left in that unit. Mercenary Cretan archers here for Madame, getting some good fire in. Again, Rome just kind of hanging out, which is one thing is good, one thing is bad. By him having all of these units over here, it's forcing me to keep units over here, so good move there by Solid Man, just sitting here and waiting, because they're starting to push in on the main road here into the town center, actually throwing in some of their Cretan archers out of ammunition, Cretan archers in against some Royal Peltasts, so you can just imagine this Cretan archer unit is not going to last very long. I'm just going to leave my cursor here, and you can just watch their numbers drop. So, yeah, this combat did not go very well for archers, but I mean, they just threw them in, I guess, to try and start killing some of the Peltast. The Peltast unit is down 11 men so far, but I don't think the archers are really that much of a cause of death for that. I'm pretty sure that the tower might be doing some of the deaths, some of the kills. Principes are probably throwing some of their javelins in as well. My slingers and Dave's archers are here. We're trying to get some shots off. We actually routed another unit of the ranged here. This is one of the Balearic slingers here that Solid Man had brought. Now we're starting, I think we start, no, we're still shooting at a unit running away, which, waste of ammo. Guys, keep an eye on your archers, because they will just, if you told them to fire on a unit, they will continue firing on them until all of them are dead or they're out of their range. So, little tip for you guys, keep an eye on your ranged guys. Make sure to turn off your fire at will, and I always like to put my archers on their guard mode so they won't chase a unit that's breaking or has broken, because archers can be very frustrating at sometimes. So Rome is now starting to make his move up. He's got a unit of Principes coming up, getting a pretty good volley in onto my Galatian Legionnaires. I threw my unit of the front line of Galatian Legionnaires into their shield wall. My second unit of Legionnaires here just waiting for combat to begin. He's starting to push up here, actually in the center as well. He's got some more of his legionary cohort actually taking on some of my Galatian Legionnaires. One of the units of naked swords I had hiding behind the building, I charged them in. They're pretty good for, you know, they're shock infantry basically. So you put a unit of your heavier guys in, and then you try and charge your naked swords or your, you know, whatever they are into combat to try and do some damage to the opposing unit as they're already being attacked by your first unit. I'm starting to move my cavalry around again. Actually, I noticed here that Solid Man had put his 2 units of Principes here into their attacking Testudo formation. So it really would not have benefit. It's not very much of a benefit. I mean, they get a higher protection from missiles, but you'll see here very shortly the deficit to them being, actually here it comes. They're being in this tight formation that they are. I'm able to just get my cavalry. Some of them are getting knocked into them, but my cavalry just the majority of the unit just goes right around them and is able to start going over here. I actually get a pretty good charge into this unit of Syrian archers here. So let's just get an eye in onto this charge here. Start taking down some of his archers. I actually get a little bit of a charge into the Eagle cohort unit, but they are heavy melee infantry, so my noble horse is not really going to be able to do very well against them. But my main goal over here was just to try and start taking out some of his archers, because I knew that he still had a decent amount of ammunition left in his archers. Was starting to be able to waver one of his units of archers. I think they do start routing, but they end up coming back, which was kind of frustrating. My noble horse, like I said over here, they're not really doing very well. Actually, a unit of the Cretan archers have come in, so now they're fighting in the front and they're being charged in the rear. But it is a smaller unit of mercenary Cretan archers, so I try and pull my cavalry back out of that engagement. So Dave has pretty much cleaned up on his side over here. At this point, Egypt really didn't have a lot of stuff left. He has the Galatian Royal Guard here, and he still has his general. This unit of archers are wavering. I pulled my cavalry out, but they're just getting absolutely murdered. They're getting hit by this tower. They're getting hit by these 2 towers here. So I really didn't know what else to do with them. I was trying to look for another target of opportunity, but I noticed that the Egyptian general was here. So instead of pulling, I should have just pulled a rear charge in onto this unit of Galatian Royal Guard, but I obviously didn't do that. That unit's getting absolutely murdered. This Galatian Royal Guard using their pila volley in onto them, and here comes the Roman cavalry and the Ptolemaic general here for Egypt. The Egyptian pikemen actually did come back from routing. We had a pretty good battle going on over here for a while. My legionnaires are holding up rather well, actually. We are breaking a unit of the legionary cohort. They were breaking. The unit is decisively losing. So my naked swords over here are actually doing I think they were doing pretty good. Oh no, they're only at 18 kills. Oh, okay, I guess my legionnaires were doing more of the work. Solid Man did push up some more of his units over here. He's actually got another unit of his Eagle cohort coming up onto this side. I'm losing on this side. I mean, I have a unit of bowmen that are breaking. 1 unit of melee's infantry is over here. Send in my naked swords now over here to try and help with the act of holding this choke point over here. But he still has all of his archers, at least 2 of his units of archers. Let's see. These guys still have ammo. These guys are in the middle of firing. And again, with the hill advantage, he's able to fire. No, it's not really as much of a hill advantage as I thought it was. Okay. I thought it was more of a hill advantage over here. Maybe on this side a little bit. He's able to get some shots up over his men into my guys. He's also got the Eagle cohort here that are getting some pila volleys into my naked swords and Galatian legionnaires. In the middle here, actually, we're doing rather well. There is some I unfortunately had to throw my general in this early into the defense here, but the Galatian Royal Guard unit is finally breaking. Principes are not doing very well. They're only down to 43 men. Solid Man started using his cavalry over here. He started doing some cycle charges into my general and Galatian legionnaire unit that I had over here. Ptolemaic general is now making his way in here. Dave did pull his units around. He was trying to make a little bit of a wraparound move over here. He thought he would be able to break through these Galatian Royal Guard, but Ptolemaic general comes on in. His unit of thorax swordsmen that he pulled up onto the wall here, getting an absolutely devastating charge from behind. This unit of thorax swordsmen not looking very good at all. Ptolemaic general did a huge charge, like I said, into that thorax swordsman unit, and yep, they're just going to walk away. They're not even going to bother riding because they know that unit is dead. And we have the Egyptian pikemen now making their way over here again. Or did they stop? No, I think he just puts them there and holds the position. But again, Dave with his archers, I believe he's getting some good fire in, taking out one of the generals so far, but I think he's mainly focusing on the Galatian Royal Guard unit over here, really trying to get rid of them. And I think, do we still have this tower? Yeah, we still have these towers, so these towers are over here giving him a hand as well. So his pikemen now coming into battle. They're taking fire. They've lost a couple of men so far. More of Dave's archers getting some good fire in onto the backs of those Galatian Royal Guard. Again, Solid Man coming in with his charge with his cavalry in here. They're not doing that well on this side. They have a lot of units held up over here, though. So Dave did move a unit of his pikemen over here to help hold the lines on this side. Legionary cohort not doing very well. I actually pull my unit of naked swords out of there because my unit that's over here is not doing good. I mean, they are fighting some very heavy melee infantry units over here, so they're not going to last very long. And I don't really have anything else that I can move. Like I said, I mean, Rome is a very tough faction, so you can't... I couldn't really do anything else against them. So I unfortunately had to throw in another unit of light melee infantry over here just to try and hold this gap as long as I could. We were finally able to break these units that were attacking through this street here. So we have victory here. And Solid Man now, aside of the units, he's got 3 units over here, Eagle Cohort, Principes, and Legionary Cohort. But his infantry is all the way over here, aside of this 1 unit of Eagle Cohort there. Again, he tries to get another big charge in with his Socii Equites there. I have my general here. I have activated his battle rhythm, and I did put him into the shield screen, which will make them their melee defense and shield strength tougher. They're also in bracing formation as well. So I don't know what I did here. I ended up charging a unit into cavalry, which not a good idea. If you guys didn't already know that, now you do. Charging a unit of melee into cavalry, never a good idea. Ptolemaic cavalry and a unit of the Galatian Royal Guard were victorious on this side. They're starting to come around this side. They're capturing this gate. Dave is pulling his general back around. But this is not... I mean, if the dam was a little bit faster, he could have come in here and just gotten some massive charges in onto all of Dave's forces before I realized what was going on. I mean, he still does. I think he does get a good charge into some of them, but Dave quickly throws his units that don't have any ammo out first. He's also moving a unit of his thorax swordsman back, so currently holding this choke point over here is just my general. He's getting shot at by the towers. Pretty sure that the Eagle Cohort still have some Pila left as well. Let's get in here, see if there is... It ends up being a Pila volley here. Oh, maybe... Nope, there it comes. Big Pila volley into my front line of them, of the Galatian noblemen there. Noblemen they're a good unit, but, I mean, it's Eagle Cohort again. Very, very tough units. Actually, I took this opportunity to start throwing some of my units that were holding this choke point here out, trying to maybe wrap around, get some of his archers, or get some rear charges in onto some of his Principes. Dave was able to move his unit of pikes that were here over onto this flank to help me hold. As you can see, my final unit of naked warriors that were here are routing off of the battlefield. The other ones are just all dead. He did pull one. Solid Man pulled his unit of Principes back. They're getting into my Syrian archers here. Thankfully, they didn't have any ammunition. Trying to get this unit of Galatian legionnaires back, but they get caught, so I just ended up leaving them there as well. Dave is now forced again. He's having to move his thorax pikemen away, which leaves my unit of depleted slingers here to have to deal with a unit of legionary cohort, which I'm not even going to say. I'm just going to let you guys assume that yeah, assume what you want to assume about that over there. Ptolemaic General over here getting some good kills. Actually just routed one of Dave's units of his ranged. He got a pretty good charge in with his Ajima Cavalry, though, onto the back of this unit of Royal Guard. But the Ptolemaic General is coming in for a charge. Another charge. Got some good kills in onto the Syrian archers, Thorax swordsman here. So, yep, my general actually just died. Just ended up catching that one real quick. So my general is gone, which the morale of all of my men is not good now at all, especially for this unit who was standing there when their general died. So that is not a good thing. Dave is now pulling the unit of pikemen all the way around over here, because it seems that this is where they're really wanting to attack. These units over here are just basically distractionary units. Why were these guys... Oh, because my slingers are firing into them. So finally, yeah, I was able to get rid of this unit. I mean, it's depleted, but still legionary cohort. We were able to break that unit of cohort off the field. So remaining units here, we definitely... I think we still have the advantage of balance of power. For a while there, we did not have the advantage at all, as Rome still had a large number of troops left. But yeah, Ptolemaic Cavalry, again, big charge in onto the back of this unit of Syrian archers. His Galatian Royal Guard taking on Thorax swordsmen. Madame did pretty good with his general here. I mean, he could have charged in onto the back of this unit, but he chose... I think he ends up choosing to come around over here, getting a charge in onto the Syrian archers here. This is all we have left here. Actually, Dave noticed that the Ptolemaic general was coming around, so instead of us getting charged from behind, he actually turned his pikes around, which was good in theory, but his pikemen are starting to get shot at from behind because of the towers, and my really depleted unit of Galatian legionnaires here are the only defense here against two units of Eagle cohort, as his pikes are facing in the wrong direction. Cohort are now starting to move forward up. I don't know if this unit has Pila. Don't think they do. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. I'm just hanging out over here for a little bit. I don't see them switching to Pila, so I guess they're out. And now Solid Man throws them in here against my Galatian legionnaires. Ptolemaic Cavalry over here is actually getting wasted. Like, actually absolutely wasted. I used a unit of my Celtic Slingers over here, getting some good volleys in. Here comes Dave with his cavalry, going to get rid of the Ptolemaic general here for Egypt. So Egypt is finally off of the battlefield. And at this point, I have 2 units of Slingers. I believe one of them is out of ammunition. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are out. No, this Dagger Star aren't out, so maybe they still had a little bit of ammunition left. And I have 1 unit of depleted Galatian Legionnaires. He has a unit of his Thorax Pikemen, 1 unit of depleted Thorax Swordsmen, his general, and a unit of Syrian Heavy Archers. So it's coming down to the wire. We do still have 6 minutes left in the battle. And again, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the content that I've been putting out. If you are, please make sure to watch the videos, like the content, comment on it if you'd like, and of course subscribe to the channel as well. That'd be really cool if you did that. So at this point, yeah, Dave is really the one that's holding the settlement. I mean, my Galatian Legionnaires are still here, but they're on the outs. They're breaking and coming back and breaking and coming back. So this really is, the rest of this really is Dave holding this settlement. Roman general ended up coming around over here to silence this tower. Wasn't entirely sure why he moved them over here to silence the tower, but I guess maybe he was thinking of getting some rear charges in with his general there. Pikes are doing their job. Actually, I ended up pushing out my legionnaires, because he pulled his infantry back. So instead of just standing there and getting shot by the tower, I figured I would throw them out and see if maybe they were going to be able to get some more kills. Auxiliary archers now making their way in, and again, auxiliary archers against pikes, not going to really do that good. I mean, they got through, but that's 138 pikes against 29 archers. They're not going to survive very long. I was trying to pull a little bit of a sneaky move here with my Celtic Slingers. I was going to try and come down over here, maybe capture this capture this tower, and hopefully with this unit still had ammunition, I was going to see if I could get some rear shots in onto that cohort, but he noticed it. Solomon noticed it, so I ended up pulling my slingers back. General still sitting over here for Rome. And archer unit, like I said, they're gone. 19 men left. They are routing off the battlefield. Some Syrian archers here coming into the mix with the pikemen here. Dave had said for me to put my slingers on this side over here. to try and get some flanking shots in between the building and his units here. They would have been able to get some good fire in onto his guy, onto Solid Man's Eagle cohort there. Actually, Solid Man did try and start moving his general around. Dave ended up noticing it and catches up the general's bodyguard, and you can just see bodyguard is not doing very well. They're already down 10 men. The Agema cavalry losing some men here and there, but yeah, the good move there by Dave, catching out the Roman general. Roman general unit is losing decisively. So that was a really good move on his part, because I didn't see it. I mean, I was looking over here, trying to move my slingers around, trying to keep an eye on this unit of Eagle cohort. So that was a really good move, quick move by Dave. The Roman general actually is killed, and I believe the unit routes here. Pretty sure general bodyguard unit has routed off of the battlefield, and they are gone. So Rome now has no general left. We, as the defenders, still do have a general with abilities, so that was definitely a good thing for us. Now here's a little bit of a game that Dave and I start playing. I start throwing my slingers up in here. Actually, I think I tossed them right into combat, and we had already kind of discussed what we were going to do here. I mean, it's less than 3 minutes left in the battle here. There's not a lot left, so I do feel the ability to do some commentating here on this. So I threw this unit of slingers in to hold this unit of Eagle cohort off so he'd be able to get his general around. Now my second unit of slingers over here, I moved them around onto this side, but I'm just waiting. He gets a good charge in onto the cohort here, pulls his general back out. Now here's the cat and mouse chase game, whatever you'd like to call. His cohort is so focused on the general, they just come out from behind these buildings. I move my slingers over, shield is on the wrong side of their body, and eventually my slingers just start laying into the side of this unit of Eagle cohort with their stones. Hopefully they start firing now, so I'm not just sitting here for this long. Okay, they're not firing. There we go. Starting to get some flanking fire in onto the Eagle cohort. They are starting to lose some men. His Eagle cohort starts moving over towards my Celtic slingers. Let's just shoot over here real quick, see how this is going. Yeah, no combat going on here. Pike's still getting killed by the towers. I start pulling the slingers back. Dave fakes a charge around. Looks like he's about to come in on a charge for the Eagle cohort, which caused them to turn their backs. My slingers turn around, start getting some good fire into the backs of the Eagle cohort, along with this tower giving me a hand with killing these Eagle cohorts, like I said. Dave pulls the cavalry back, starts moving them back around again. Cohort moving forward, going to charge towards my Celtic slingers. Cavalry starts coming around the corner, getting a little close. Looks like he's going to go in for a charge. Cohort turns around, goes back towards his cavalry, allowing more back shots here from my slingers. Cavalry did go in for a little bit of a charge, killed I think a couple of guys on that. His general is at 43 out of 80. Again, the cohort turns around, starts coming towards my slingers again. Now I'm forced to pull my slingers back because of how close they are getting in onto them. Dave again coming in with his cavalry. Romans again have to turn around to get in to hold themselves against the charge here from the Agema cavalry. Again, my slingers turn around, start firing into the backs of the Eagle cohort. That just continues happening over and over and over again, so I'm not going to cover that anymore. Let's see, the pike unit over here is actually losing a lot of numbers, not so much from the Romans, but from the towers. And the pikes are down to 41 men here now. Dave pulls his pikes back around. Thankfully, this unit of cohort broke now. Dave did get a good charge in onto them, plus their morale was already dropping. So he gets a good charge in onto that Eagle cohort. That unit is gone. Dave pulled his unit of pikes around. 11 seconds left. This unit of Eagle cohort is starting to waver. So, fun battle, little 2v2 fun battle. Nothing crazy, just 2v2 fun Discord battle. Let's get into the army breakdowns here. We have Dave with his general, 159 kills. His archers doing rather well, 180, 153, 110, and 72. His front line hillmen here, 35, 45, 47, 21, and 117. His Royal Peltasts doing absolutely fantastic, as Royal Peltasts usually do. 269, 236. His unit of pikemen, 267. The other one was only with 82, but they were the ones that got shredded in the beginning with all of the archer fire and tower assistance. Thorax Swordsman 140, 143, 79, 175, and 167. Getting into my army, I didn't really, like I said, I was taking on Rome, so I didn't really have the greatest of kills. My general here with 121 kills, 2 units of cavalry, 94 and 59. Slingers here with 156 for that unit. Syrian archers, 138 and 63. My Galatian legionnaires, 141, 123, 206, so pretty good number there. 147, 126 again. So, I mean, they all over 100 kills for them, but then we get into my Galatian swords, 84, 72, 52, and 80. So really not that great of kills. They were fighting against Principes, so, you know. Livy Freeman here, 34, and Naked Swords, 41 and 68. Getting into Solid Man's army. His general, only 5 kills. His other 2 units of cavalry here, 40 and 50. His slingers with 60 kills. Syrian archers, 138, 149, and 120. Eagle cohort, 287, 194. Legionnaire cohort, 92, 66, 241, 76. Principes, 196, 124, 103, 104, 106, 103, and 239. So really well done with his army. I'm not going to take anything away. Just really, really well done. A lot of kills, almost 2,500 kills there for him. Almost 2,500 kills for Dave also. So the two of them were really the solid armies on the battlefield. Egypt here with 1 less than 2,000 kills. His general, 331 kills, which I think the majority of those kills were Dave's archers, but still just absolute powerhouse of a general unit there. Citizen Cavalry, 15 and 47. His archer's doing fantastic, 202, 224, 164, this unit with only 92. Egyptian pikeman with only 12 kills, getting into his Galatian Royal Guard, 228, 168. His Carian Axeman not faring very well, 234, 13, and 62. Getting into his Thorax Swordsman, 153, 60, 89, 91, and 12. So, little less than 40 minutes of a battle, 39 minutes, 1 second of a battle. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, it was just a nice little fun battle between some Discord guys. So, hope you enjoy the battle. If you do, please make sure to like and comment on it, and I will talk to you guys soon.